Okay, so there is the communication hub. In fact, this is the only system in this cluster, which means theoretically we should be able to scan to our heart's content. Newton. Did we not? Hold on. We were definitely here in Mass Effect 1. In fact, we may have even landed on Ontarim in Mass Effect 1. Am I making that up? Am I making that up right now? Did I make that up? Okay, I am getting the increasing sense that there may be nothing to scan here. Don't ask me why. It's definitely not because we have gone around in circles through the entire system and scanned absolutely everything. But I get the feeling there may not be anything here. Ah, I see. Yeah, so on the PC side of things, yeah, I've been doing mouse keyboard for multiplayer. There is a mod that allows you to use controller for multiplayer, although by default it does not work. Controller does not work by default. I tried to install the mod for controller on multiplayer. For whatever reason, I just couldn't get it to work, but you're talking to someone who is not exactly the most skilled when it comes to installing mods, so I wouldn't read too much into that. But for Legendary Edition, I think for all the other single-player components, even for the base trilogy, I think controller works by default. Don't quote me on that, though. Okay, so we have Junkro, which is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sodium in its upper atmosphere. Like Uranus in the Sol system, it is tipped on its side, its north pole facing the star Newton. Then, oh, we skipped this little guy. Sesmos. Sesmos is an ice dwarf world. It looks really cool, though. Tiny little planet, and yet still has the ring system. Its surface composed almost entirely of frozen water. Normally, a planetoid this small would not rate inclusion on the system's charts, but Sesmos' unusually large and beautiful ring of ice crystals has made it a popular subject for visual artists. I was not the only one to notice. This ring is the result of a glancing equatorial impact, which left a large trench and threw a large amount of melted water into the atmosphere. The rings are a temporary feature that will completely decay in a few thousand years. Darn. Okay, then we have Glencory. Glencory is a rock and ice planet with an atmosphere composed of chlorine and argon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of potassium with deposits of iron. Glencory is famously claimed by the eccentric Volus billionaire Human Shoal. Don't think we've heard that name before? It's once ridiculed visions of beings of light, protecting organic life from synthetic machine devils. Don't seem quite so far-fetched now. I was gonna say, once upon a time that might have sounded like crazy talk. Nowadays, not so much. His private army of mercenaries are well established on the planet, waiting for husks to come knocking on their door. In all likelihood, they will be obliterated by the molten metal of a Reaper orbital bombardment on its way to somewhere important. Oh. Well, there's a little dose of reality for you. Then there's Ontarim, which, as a quick reminder, what we are planning to do here, oh, that's not what we're looking for, is the N7 communication hub. Cerberus has attacked a comm facility on Ontarim. Land on Ontarim and prevent Cerberus from gaining control of crucial access points. That's the plan. And for those of you who were asking recently how we're looking, as I was saying, 98% Paragon Adept, and leaning primarily on Singularity plus Warp for basic combos, and then for bigger enemies that we can't prime with Singularity, because, fun fact, difference between the campaign and multiplayer, you can't prime armored enemies with Singularity. We prime them with Warp and detonate with Throw. So that's the general idea, and we're rocking Defense Matrix largely for the additional defenses, because we are on Insanity, and it has saved our butts on a few occasions. Okay, so let's head on in to Ontarim, and... ooh, let's do it. So for this mission, we expect... believe we heard that it's a Cerberus communication hub, so we're expecting, presumably, Cerberus. And that means shields, potentially, as of the introduction of phantoms, a little bit of barriers, potentially. And, well, we're talking about Phantoms, we would love, I mean love, to get... Oh, I keep on accidentally switching her outfit when I mean to do this. We would love to have Stasis bubbled, but we are one upgrade away, and I don't think we've leveled up enough since then to make it happen. Don't think. Unless, didn't we level up in Priority Thessian? I don't remember if we allocated those points for everyone, or we might have gotten distracted and just used it on Shepard. We are extremely close, is the point. We either need one level, or we may... I think we still need one more level. So, I mean, it's still doable, but we would love to have the bubble. So, maybe that's reason enough to take Liara. Other than that, obviously our go-to combo in many cases has been Garrus plus Liara, and it's hard to say no to Garrus ever, especially when he has tons of damage and does have, as I once again changed his outfit instead of doing this, he does have the overload to deal with shields as well, making him very well-rounded, at least compared to us with our biotic specialties. So we could go with him, but we could maybe use this as an opportunity to get someone else in that we have not seen as much of. I'm thinking it's been a while since we used Edie. She, of course, also has overload, so by that metric, she could be a viable option for us as well. Possibly even Ashley as maybe a more direct replacement for Garrus, because have we really not taken anything in Arms Master? Apparently not. But because she has the same weapons, so she has tons of firepower there, has Marksman, which technically might even mean she has more damage, does have the squad disruptor ammo, giving both her and our other squad mates extra damage to shields. It's not a direct active skill, so it's a little bit different the way that we're getting the shields damage there, but maybe we just deal with that. Oh, except both Liara and Ashley have squad ammo powers. I mean, a little bit redundant there in that case. We probably want to use Ashley's disruptor ammo rather than Liara's warp ammo, since we're trying to mostly build around shields. Is there reason enough not to take Ashley and Liara together? It's a little bit awkward. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit of an awkward pairing for that reason. But has been a while since we used Ashley, and we did, of course, only get her about halfway through the game, so sure. We might regret this. Okay, so for us, we're going primarily Acolyte plus Hurricane. That, I think, probably remains unchanged. For Ashley, Typhoon, Javelin, probably also remains largely, if not entirely, unchanged. Liara, Scorpion, Hurricane, probably also remains unchanged, to be honest. I think we might just stick with this. Okay, so then, do we have enough points to get Liara's stasis up to bubble? We could upgrade ourselves into pull 2, but that just, I don't think is necessary. We'll just save up for the shockwave. For Liara. No! We need one more point. Yes, this is where we found ourselves while we were still on Thessia. Don't think we're close enough to leveling up that this is going to happen on this mission. Probably not. We could put another point into Pure Biotic for the additional duration and force. Yes, but we've been trying so hard to get this stasis bubble. Oh, I accidentally closed out. But no, we don't have enough points to do it anyway.
Commander Cerberus has taken one of our secret communication facilities. All campaigns in this theater depend on the information that dish array supplies.
What do we know?
We're getting intel from a tech who survived the attack. Grace Sato. She's hiding in a security bunker off-site.
A civilian?
Yes, patching her through.
Miss Sato, what's happening down there?
I'm staying hidden, but I'm the only one left. They're trying to hack into our systems to access Alliance operations protocols.
That doesn't sound
I'm
good.
tracking their activity, but they're bound to find me sooner or later.
Hang in there. We'll be there soon.
Yes.
I'll take care of it, Admiral.
See that you do. Hack it out.
Ooh, okay. We're coming in hot here. So this map, for those of you who play a lot of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, will immediately look familiar to you. This is Firebase Dagger. And so I do have a lot of experience playing here, but we have, at least initially, an Assault Trooper up here. It's the only enemy we're seeing on our map right now. Fortunately, it is unshielded, which means we can singularity it. There do appear to be other enemies here as well. Let's activate our ammo, and I think it's going to be disruptive for everyone.
What are we looking at?
They're trying to...
One moment. We're trying to do something, maybe, but we're also trying to explode them.
3 critical access points.
Make sure you guys are using preferred weapons.
Updating
Let's
your
stick
nav
this.
point with the location of the terminal. They're closest to cracking.
We'll keep them from hacking in.
Oh, that's a grenade. There's a grenade right on top of us. That was not very nice of them. I do love this map for grabs. I'm not gonna lie. I do love this map for grabs. So it's gonna take every ounce of will in my body not to rush down there into cover and try to grab all of these guys that are hanging out down there. It's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be really tough not to do that. Just telling you that right now. We might want to stasis this guy. Also, if we could just, like, casually singularity like that. Take you out, that would be nice. How did... Oh. Not exactly sure what happened. Also, ow. Let's back on. Okay. Is it the last of them? Let's see. We are allowed to save. Leads me to think that may have been the last of them, despite the intense music continuing to play here. So if that is the case, and I think this is a relatively safe time, and by relatively safe time I mean theoretically completely safe time, to loot. So let's do a bit of that here. There is, I believe, at least in the original Mass Effect 3, there was a bit of a bug here, because... bit, okay. Med kits are good for experience, which I'm not sure that's going to be enough to make a difference here to level us up. But there is the Cerberus codes, I believe is actually a side quest item for an entirely different quest. The thing is that this, in the original Mass Effect 3, I believe was bugged to the point where if you pick this up, and then you die later on in the mission, and reload the save, then this will no longer be here anymore? Don't... Or no, it's like if you take it, hold on. It's like something along the lines if you take it and then save afterward, then it doesn't remember that you took it. I think that's what happens. It doesn't remember that you took it, and then it also is no longer available. So you just can't get this item anymore. You'd have to buy it from the Spectre terminal, which is not the end of the world, but I think the best way to work around doing that is to deliberately delay as long as possible before getting this, and hopefully not be at risk of dying once you do pick it up, so it's pretty much a safe selection. I think that's the way to go about doing it, but I could be wrong. I'm just kind of curious how close these med kits get us leveling up, and the answer is definitely not close enough, because as I was saying, we'd love to get that stasis bubble. Finally, we picked that one up. Oh, what? Oh. Okay. Some Cerberus technology monies over there. I get that's cool, I guess. Ammo here. Anything in this corner? Oh. More Cerberus technology to salvage. So yeah, it does look like there's a fair bit of that, fortunately. Okay. see something else that's lighting up there? Suggesting that we could loot it? These things? No? Maybe not? Maybe I made that up? So this is, of course, also a good opportunity, for if you are not familiar with this map, to start to understand what it's all about. It's an interesting one. This spot up here is a great place to hold if enemies are down below like this. The problem is, at least at the moment, we're the ones down here. Where does Cerberus do? Apparently not. Anything over here? This is where we were a second ago, but not down below. Oh, this is something, I think. Some Greaves. And some more Cerberus technology. That is just everywhere, it seems. Just everywhere. I'm basically just gonna go around to all the places that exist on this map. So yeah, this is why I love this map for grabs, because there's all these places here. Also, there's another medkit. I mean, you say, Lids, why not use the medkits to actually restock your meta-gel? Look, we'll be fine, okay? Don't worry about it. We'll totally be fine. Until we're not fine. And that's when we won't be fine. And that's when I'll say, okay, maybe you were right. Maybe you were right after all. But that's enough of that argument. I've had enough for you. It's just ammo? It seemed like, generally speaking, there was some loots to be had whenever there was ammo to be had, but maybe I made that up. Not checked. Oh. Well, that's our quest item, as in this quest here item. More ammo. More meta-gel. Is that an explosive container, or is that just a fire extinguisher? I think that may just be a fire extinguisher. Okay. I'm not 100% certain that we've gotten everything, but we've gotten most of the things. Most of the things we have acquired. We have now basically covered everything. It is just a matter of there's something hiding in a corner somewhere that I missed, which I would not put past me to do. Thought there might be something over here somewhere. I felt like this was comparatively a little empty on this end. Anything in this corner? No? Guess not. Okay. In that case, before we get dizzy. Yeah, so we know there's still the quest item that's right there. Up this ramp into the left. But we're deliberately going to try to wait before we do that. To see if we can hold off and hopefully get that later on when we're further along the mission. Thank you, Ashley. Oh, we could also actually make a point of putting the incendiary, or not incendiary, the disruptor ammo on our other weapons as well, now that we actually do have downtime. Okay. Well, let's switch back to the ones we actually want. Might actually be Acolyte Force, though. Okay. So. Yeah, we can... There may be another opportunity for us to loot afterward. Okay.
Commander Shepard, Cerberus shuttles are scattered.
So now we have a Nemesis over there, and what appears to be several enemies up there as well. The Nemesis are the ones that snipe.
Powering the area. I think they're looking for me. They're using...
Okay, it's a Centurion coming around this way. Also shielded. Also unfortunate. This Nemesis is almost dead. Liara has used her abilities. That should take that one out.
Oh no. How do we...
Oh, you chucked a grenade.
Nothing's changed. Just upload the next set of coordinates.
Yes, Commander. Updating your nav point.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't. Oh, except he got shocked by the disruptor ammo. That was convenient. I was planning on doing that. And then probably this. And in case he's not dead, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Oh, where'd you come from? Fortunately, you don't have shields. Another one over here, though. Somewhere. Centurion. Oh, do none of you have shields? To what do we owe the pleasure? You may have had shields. Excuse me. I was told you didn't have shields. You're telling me you're not in the singularity right now? I'm personally offended. There also is somebody flanking us. Up here. Oh, that's a nemesis. There's actually a lot of enemies up here. Okay, if you could get stasis, please. And then, I mean, we might even cluster grenade here. We've not used it often, but there were just too many enemies in there to pass that up. It was not strictly necessary by any means. I'd also grab opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, please don't destroy this guy before we get the chance to throw him. No! Missed opportunity. Oh. We're just gonna throw you. That should be enough to take him out. If that actually hit you, it may not have. That worked wonderfully. See, what I actually wanted to do was just create a wall that he could not come through. Away he goes. Before we can throw him. Still have more people come down there. It is a Centurion. Let's freeze you. And then warp you. That was interesting. Some acrobatics from the Centurion. Anyone else up here? Yes, but not anyone who's currently advancing on us. That is a fast nemesis. Wow. You see how fast she's running? I'd like to stasis you as well, ideally. I think that still got you. Fortunately, Ashley can take you down pretty darn quickly. There's definitely more dudes in here still. Just waiting for the dudes to come out. Maybe we instead deal with these dudes for the time being. I am disappointed that the other dude was not next to that dude when we exploded the first dude. Alright. Is that so now? Rude. Also rude. That might be how Liara died. They might have chucked a grenade right on top of her, because that is exactly what's about to happen here. Fortunately, they appear to be fine. One enemy up here. I'm guessing it's probably a nemesis. Probably. But don't quote me on that.
Got it.
Hey, friends. Anybody want to be Vids?
Right away.
Real quick. Ashley, you stand right there. Liara. Nice to have you with us today.
Understood.
You did not want to go in further? He's not letting me direct her to go in further. This would be a situation in which being able to see through walls with some abilities would be useful. But we currently cannot do that. This enemy is hanging out right next to it. What I'm concerned about is this a phantom? It might be. And if it is, then I don't want to be standing right next to her to say hello, otherwise she's going to annihilate us. So what if we instead go around this way? Since she does seem to be waiting patiently. Oh no, it's a Centurion down here. Oh, it would have been cool. I mean, we could grab this guy as well. Again, gonna have to resist with every fiber of my being the temptation to do that. He is really asking for it right now. He's totally asking for it right now. There we go. That may have actually hit him, somewhat surprisingly. There we go. Alright, so now we have another hacking device over there. So we've gotten rid of this wave of enemies. As I said, not 100% certain that we got everything. In that first looting session, we might have missed one or two things here or there. We did kind of just meander around all the areas of the map, searching high and low for things, but sometimes stuff is pretty well hidden. Okay. So the question remains as to whether we would like to nav this now or save it for later. Save here. Just save aggressively, and if things go awry, hopefully we don't forget it. If things go awry, then we'll reload that save and just have to redo a bit. Okay. So this is kind of not a great place to be. We're kind of just out in the open, and if they spawn in up here or in the middle, then here at least they don't have a clean line of sight on us immediately. Here they might, but it's just not a great spot to be hanging out. It's generally not a great spot to be hanging out. So might want to proactively
On it.
place some
As you
friends
wish.
elsewhere.
I will.
Miss Adam, come in. Miss Adam, are you there?
Too scared to break radio silence.
We need the final coordinates. Grace, listen to me.
Can't talk. They're right outside.
Okay. We could use some help here.
I know you're scared. This is more than you signed up for, but I won't let you down. Promise.
Okay, Commander. Updating your nav point with the last location now. But if you get to me in time, just hurry, please.
Commander, I think I can make a run and get her.
Do it.
Okay. Herd Centurions. Think. Oh, and our attempt to set up our squad mates in advance may not have worked so well. So as I was saying before, this is not really a place we want to find ourselves because the cover is pretty bad. I mean, if there are enemies right on top of us, we could take cover here at least, but there's not a lot of room to go around. And if there are enemies up inside, then as soon as we have to step out of here, we are like sitting ducks. So I think we gotta kind of make a run for it here.
Got it.
Okay, I think I am. Oh, there's a nemesis up there. Okay, I see.
Okay.
Centurion here, that might have been another nemesis? Might have been a phantom, to be honest. That'd be more of a concern. Was that a phantom? Because they do look kind of similar. It was a nemesis, okay. Less of a threat. Less of a threat, for sure. Pretty sure that that is the Centurion right... That is definitely the Centurion right there, in the middle of the smoke. I'd like to believe we can still hit him with the warp. We definitely still hit him with the warp. Okay, so let's just try to thin out the enemies here if we can. Can we sneak in that stasis? I'm pretty sure it missed. Also, that nemesis is about to try to snipe Liara. Liara, you are not really sufficiently in cover right now. If you could just slide on over ever so slightly. They are all up there in the sniper's tower, it seems. Ooh. What was that? Presumably a nemesis. Presumably a nemesis? From where? I'm not entirely sure. Thought we had pretty decent cover from that angle, but maybe not. Could very well have been this Centurion, I guess. Probably should have made that a warp. Well, that's a nemesis aiming at us. Centurion's almost dead. Centurion should be dead. Okay. Well. Ah. I see her. I see her. So the problem is we can't do much while she's hanging out right there. That's problem. We can't hit her all that. I mean, we could try chucking grenades in there. And Hoping that even if it's not a direct hit, it has a large enough AoE that it kind of knocks her out of that cover. She's in a kind of nasty spot right now. Anyone else is kind of starting to flank us? Oh, well, you're now a much easier target. We can do that, for sure. Let's see, the Nemesis still trying to snipe us around this corner. If we're lucky, we can use your friend, blow you up a little bit with the biotic explosion. Whoa. Not do nearly as much damage as we would have liked. Maybe throw. The second hit might hit them. There is someone flanking us, and it is a Phantom. Okay, that's a huge concern. Get rid of you. And then it is all attention on the Phantom. Are you dead, though? It's like I'm not 100% sure that you are, but anyways. Phantom has killed Liara. I was about to say, we stasis that Phantom. But what we need to do is we need to revive Liara, and then stasis that Phantom. Okay. Because that is the thing that works super well on the Phantoms. And that is the primary reason why we brought Liara in the first place. Okay, Liara, that Phantom is not dead yet, for the record. I would not necessarily recommend moving in like that. It is, however, currently getting hammered. I believe it's now dead. Tell me this is a different Centurion and not the one that we blasted to smithereens previously. Because if it is the one that we blasted to smithereens previously, I am kind of curious as to how the heck it's still alive. Also, that's a Nemesis right there. I am surprised how... That did not hit. It might have hit the Nemesis, actually, but I'm surprised by how aggressively the Nemesis are advancing on us. It's usually not something that you see. Centurion. Taking a lot of throws. You're still here. So... it might just be Nemesis. A whole bunch of Nemesis at this point. Ashley, you may have enough... Oh, but... this is crazy. This Nemesis is this close to us. They actually... usually they just can't deal damage when they're this close. They will refuse to shoot their sniper rifle from this range. I mean, we might as well at this point cluster grenade her. Might have already died. But, you know, things happened. I can tell you that things did happen. There is a Centurion over there. Thank you, Liara. Giving us biotics against shields. Still have shields, speaking of which. Not anymore. Flanking, not enough to be concerning. Okay, so now you're the only ones left. I would like to believe. I still hear Nemesis sounds. Yep. Nemesis is up in the tower, which means I no longer like this spot. Oh, they're both up in the tower. Me? Happy with that from here? Yeah, it actually did work.
On it.
It actually worked. For what it's worth, the Nemesis was quick and did almost still shoot us. But it did actually kind of work. I hate this spot. Currently. So there's the Nemesis. Now we can at least, in theory, the angle on this Centurion. Did that make it over the wall? It might not have made it over the wall. However, we'll use you. Prime this explosion, which hopefully has enough AoE. These Centurions are growing on trees, man. When do they go away? Never appears to be the answer. Even if we blast them out of this galaxy, apparently. rid of their shields? No. That's the RS Scorpion that's hitting them with the explosions. Casually shooting it at the wall. Oh, that got both of them. Okay. There we go. Hey, and the Nemesis is shieldless, so we can get her too. She's flying! Finally! They're all taken care of. Okay, so I think now may be the time to pick up this last quest item. I think now may be the time. So let's nab this.
Cerberus encryption algorithms of some sort.
Okay, and once again, you know, did we miss anything loot-wise? Let's check our follower respawn in. I'm not sure if we ever looked back here. This is kind of sort of where we spawned. Right here. We were a little distracted when we first came in because we were immediately getting fired upon, but no, I think the spot looks good. Feel like we missed one or two sources of the monies, though. Maybe I'm making that up, but anyways. This should suffice. This should suffice. Okay, so this is the one we're looking for. Let's do it.
Commander, they've almost got the doors open. Help!
Got her covered, Commander. Area cleared. Picking up Miss Sato, then heading back to the rendezvous point.
Good
Okay.
job, Lieutenant.
Sounds good.
Our communication station is secure. Operations in this theater are safe again. No small task to keep it that way. How's Miss Sato doing?
She has to be transferred to a nearby Alliance station. She wants to help however she can.
Good. We need all the help we can get. Hack it out.
Okay, so we got some monies, some reputation, and that was, of course, the N7 Communications Hub mission. There you are. And after having completed that, we also, got several we did some planet scanning as well. It's like, we shouldn't have gotten this many updates, should we have? Now we now have Shadowbroker's support team worth for 40 points. Shadowbroker's strength lies in her connections. Dr. Liara Tassoni has a team of operatives able to procure almost any supplies at any time by using an extensive network of bribes, blackmail, and favors. This logistical support has become important to building the Crucible, as the disruption of communications and travel makes gathering resources risky at the best of times. Okay, so that's the only thing from Alien. From Alliance, I think we got several updates to the 103rd Marine Division recently. Nicknamed the Bridge Burners, is this among them? Team Zeta are combat engineers who specialize in destroying enemy fortifications in hostile territory. This tight-knit group of men and women are respected for their knowledge, renowned for their tenacity, and infamous for their enthusiasm. Probably was that, I guess. So it definitely wasn't Grissom Academy, it definitely wasn't an interview with Diana Allers. Might have also been the Alliance Reconnaissance Unit that flies recon drones and occasionally puts live recon teams into play. AMRU works hard to ensure information is up to date using VIs to disseminate intel as quickly as possible. Then Alliance 3rd Fleet. Definitely got the Nairobi, it's the Trafalgar. The Trafalgar was in the middle of an engine overhaul when a Cerberus flotilla engaged it in a firefight. Barely escaping on auxiliary power, its crew later finished upgrading the ship in record time after meeting Alliance forces. Okay. And other than that, communications arrays. This, I believe, we just got from finishing this mission right here, the communication hub. So worth 50 points. Before fleeing on Torum, with Commander Shepard's help, technician Grace Sato saved a copy of, or Sato, I think they were saying, saved a copy of the schematics for the Alliance's most advanced communications relay. Sato will use these schematics to build several smaller arrays to collect crucial intel from points in various systems. That's the last from the Alliance, then Crucible. We also got the Volus engineering team recently, apparently. That's 50 points right there. Elkos Combine is a manufacturer known for producing reliable but less expensive versions of higher-grade weapons and armor. Their scientists are adept at reverse engineering new technology. The Volus engineers, rescued from Satu Ard, are applying these same methods to break down instructions on how to create several dozen new plastics that must be integrated into the Crucible's superstructure. In a show of unprecedented generosity, Elkos Combine has waived all proprietary claims to any new compounds created by its scientists. You never hear the Volus doing that. Shadowbroker Starship Tech as well. Oh, as in, like, its ship itself? Because that's certainly what it looks like. I've never really seen it from this exact angle, though. It looks so cool. Shadowbroker's unnamed vessel needs a name. Served as both a data repository and stealth ship for the enigmatic information trader. The ship ingeniously drew its power from the thunderstorms raging constantly on the planet it orbited, relying on an interlocking system of kinetic barriers, grounding rods, and capacitors to avoid being ripped apart. These systems have been repurposed for sectors of the Crucible that require the safe discharge of tremendous amounts of energy. Even more in the Crucible, though, Terminus freighters. The Terminus systems team with planets rich in rare elements, minerals, and other raw materials important for the Crucible. Fortunately, the Terminus systems also have a great quantity of freighter vessels. The Athabasca-class ships, while only lightly armored, can carry millions of tons of freight, with fuel tanks optimized for long, hazardous journeys. I suppose that falls under the Crucible category if they're supplying for the Crucible, but that still feels a little bit odd. And that appears to be all now, so we're at 681. So we're getting somewhere. We're making progress. We are making progress. Suppose we can see if anyone has anything to say about that mission that we just completed. Okay, so let's see if Joker or Edie have anything new to talk to us about.
Joker, you asked for news about the human colony, Tiptree.
Hey, Liara, you don't need to worry about that right now.
Now's as good a time as any. I'm getting reports of refugee ships from Tiptree landing on Solarian colonies. I don't have names. I'm sorry. It was mostly children.
Well, Gunny, Hillary, my sister, Gunny's the nickname. She's had it since, she's only 15, so if it's children, then maybe I only lost my dad. Kind of an asshole thing to hope for.
Jeff, right now, take any kind of hope you can get.
Thanks. You too.
So, we were talking about this a little bit last time we were speaking with Joker. After Thessia, we got into a bit of a heated discussion with him, in which she was joking around. We were a little critical, saying, hey, Joker, now is not the time. We just lost Thessia and hundreds of thousands, if not potentially millions of lives lost. Now is not the time to be cracking jokes. However, he said, hold your horses, Shepard. I know what the stakes are right now. My family is on Tiptree, and the Reapers have attacked. And that name, as we said at the time, should sound familiar because that is the name of the planet that the Asari getting treatment for PTSD in the Puerto Memorial Hospital mentioned as the place that she was deployed, and she got driven out from the colony or the settlement that she was in when the Reapers attacked, fled with someone named Hillary, came back when she realized that they didn't have the ability to radio in their shuttle because the shuttle was not arriving, so they had to go back to that settlement where the Reapers were still there, including the Asari's partner, or at least the Asari's other person who was in their other commando, if you will, someone who they were interested in, if you will, as well. But anyways, that's an aside. she became a Banshee. She had killed many of the colonists there. However, several more were captured, and so they tried to rescue them. They were unable to do so because when they tried to do so, the colonists started yelling, raising the alarm, which brought the Reaper's attention to the Asari and Hillary, and they had to run to avoid getting taken out by those Reapers, because although the Asari had the ability to use her biotic, she did not have her weapon on her, and so they were severely outnumbered, severely outmatched. They tried to hide, and they were doing so. However, Hillary had broken her leg and therefore was making noise, and so the Banshee was closing in on them and was close to discovering their location, and it sounds like the Asari killed Hillary, at least was heavily implied that she did so to avoid that Banshee finding her. And then Asari, of course, was eventually able to escape. That's how she ended up on the Huerta Memorial Hospital, getting treatment from the doctor. But Tiptree, Hillary, 15 years old, that might have even been the age that Asari gave. It was Joker's sister.
Commander?
Oh, Joker. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy, but I'm afraid we do know that your sister did not make it. And we also know that things did not go well at Tiptree.
What are you thinking about, Edie?
The holographic theory of existence posits we are just two-dimensional information painted on the cosmological horizon.
Of course.
However, the holographic consciousness I recognize as myself is only able to perceive matter and energy. Thus, I am able to theorize the true nature of existence but never experience it. Possibly even the Reapers are limited this way.
Okay. Bad question.
Hello, Shepard.
Or was it? Or was it? Okay. So that's the latest from Joker and Edie. We can check if Trainer or our emails, are any updates there?
Commander?
Doesn't seem like Trainer's anything to tell us. The email side of things, nothing there either. Why don't we head on down quickly to see if our squad mates have anything to chat with us about. We did get an intel update, so we should be able to make one more upgrade. Tally was here last time, but not seeing her here anymore. Perhaps she's back in her usual spot. Anything from Chakwas? I kind of doubt it.
Good to see you, Commander.
Nothing out of the ordinary, at least. No one chatting down here. What about you, Garrus? How are you doing?
Not right now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Apparently not significant enough for Garrus to comment.
Dr. Tassoni found useful information in the data you recovered, Commander.
Okay, so that's gonna be the intel terminal.
Ready for the next mission?
Oh. Okay. I mean, last time we were chatting with Liara down here, she was rather distraught after Thessia fell. So, I mean, at least she's seems to be a lot more enthusiastic now. Research data from Pragia. Data on experimental gene therapies was buried in the ruins of the Pragia research facility. Yeah, maybe we don't tell Jack about that, though. While most gene therapy takes years to show results, Pragia scientists discovered a way to shorten the process. Rather than years, it now takes 30 seconds. 2 intact sample vials have been recovered from the facility. The only limiting factor is that no more than one such therapy can be applied per 10-month period without causing serious nerve damage to the recipient. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. Power cooldown versus power damage. So we are already quite close to being at 200% power recharge time. I think when we have the Hurricane on, we're at something like 191? Something along those lines. So, additional recharge speed, at least for Shepard, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference here. The power damage, we did actually most recently take power damage from our previous upgrade, but it's not reason to avoid taking it again here. You know, are we about to be at an important power damage threshold? Perhaps last time we justified it by saying sometimes when we go singularity plus warp, it's not quite enough to take out basic enemies for whatever reason. So we were hoping that by just adding a tiny bit more damage to the warps, then maybe then it would more consistently, it's still been pretty consistent, but almost 100% of the time get the job done. So I think that might still be what we go for here. Of course, bigger enemies, it's always going to be relevant, the extra damage. Because we're definitely not one-shotting them, even with biotic combos. Again, that power damage doesn't directly affect the combo damage, but it does at least affect the warp. There shouldn't be anyone hanging out in here unless somebody is having a little chat. Unexpectedly. Doesn't seem like it, though. Oh, Ashley's back over here.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yep. Sure. Thrilled to see you as well, Ashley. Doesn't seem like we're hearing or seeing much in the way of new things other than that intel update. Doubt
Commander.
others will have anything. But Javik might.
Seeing all these primitives flying spaceships is unexpected and very dangerous.
It's okay, Javik. You can trust us.
For one who claims to be an expert on my people, your Asari knows very little.
Yeah, she was a little surprised by how you were. I feel like we might have heard Javik say that before, though.
Commander.
Was that new? If not, it was very similar to things we've heard before.
Okay, toughest mission.
Horizon.
No fair, I hadn't joined up with you yet.
Fine, the Dead Reaper then.
Really? The Husks just ran up to us.
Have you ever noticed that I carry a sniper rifle? You're the one who likes things at short range.
And you prefer to keep everything at a distance.
From husks? Absolutely.
Creepiest thing we fought.
The Thorian. Your turn.
I'm going with the Rachni.
The Queen? But we didn't fight her either time.
No, the little ones. They look like spiders and they scuttle right toward you.
I thought you liked it when things got up close and personal.
Not when it's spiders.
Oh, good times. Good times. How's it going, Tally?
Good to see you.
Hopefully Garrus isn't giving you too much trouble.
Commander.
Okay. Maybe a good thing we did pop down here for a second in that case. Let's take a quick pit stop at the shuttle bay as well, then. Spiders.
Just got word from Miss Sato. She arrived at the Alliance research facility safe and sound.
And I hear Esteban got to play the hero with a damsel in distress.
You know me and my damsels, Mr. Vega.
That I do.
Okay. So that was the person that we rescued in the communications hub mission?
I appreciate you checking in on me.
Okay. James, you have anything to add to that? No, you don't. You do not. So, we could, theoretically, if we had missed the quest item, have purchased it after the fact, but fortunately that seemed to have been necessary. Did we pick up any... I don't think there were any new weapons there, were there? No. Okay. Nothing new to check out, and yeah, 191 is our current recharge. Monies-wise, we're at 155, so we could afford both one of the big weapons and potentially some weapon upgrades. At least we could get the Black Widow along with some upgrades. I think, what was it? The Piranha might be 175,000, and I thought there's one more that was same price as the Piranha. There are still some pretty expensive ones remaining. We might not necessarily purchase all of the high rarity weapons because I mean they're pretty darn pricey, right? But it is kind of nice to get them and throw some upgrades on them, and then, you know, if you wanna do a mission with the shuriken, no, don't do it. Probably don't do it with the shuriken, unless you're memeing. But hey, man, that's up to you. Okay, so I think that's just about everything in terms of checking in with our squad mates here.